Okay, so first thing I want to say about this game is it was pretty fun, don't get me wrong, but the tempo near the end is a little bit weird because she lagged out like a motherfucker. So if the match tends to like speed up or slow down in weird bits and I just get real awkward with my narration, that's because the tempo of the match got awkward because it started randomly lagging out on her end and it was a mess. But anyways, what's up guys? I got some TCGO here. This is probably going to be the last one for a little bit, but it's against Buffalon. I think I've played her once or twice before, and she's a pretty good player, so yeah, we'll just go ahead and jump right into this. I haven't used Lost World in a while just because all the decks running around have basic Pokemon in them anyways, and it's hard to really find a deck that actually relies on more than one evolution. Otherwise, I'll have to use Seeker to start using Gengar. But my hand right now is not very strong at all. I mean, I can use Pokemon Collector to get 3 Pokemon, but I'm going to choose my Ghastly, my Cleffa, and my Slowpoke. That way, hopefully, I can draw into a Slowking on this next turn. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to retreat that Mime Jr., go into Cleffa, get myself a new hand, I believe. Just put everything down. One other option I had was to Pecom out for something else, but I figured the more basics I can get onto the field, the better, because they won't even be able to evolve until next turn anyway. It's just a lot better just to shuffle out for a new hand. Unfortunately, I didn't really get anything good. Like, nothing at all. But at least I went first, so I'm not in danger of being hit by Thundurus just yet. So, she's going to go for a Pokemon Collector, decides to Pecom out the Chinchou, and going to get something else. I think how her end was operating is how my end was operating on TCGO when I first started playing. Like, it worked out fine, and then, like, if you played for longer than 10 minutes, it would just lag unbearably. Like, I don't know if there was, like, memory leaking or something like that, but it just got really bad. So she decides to Pecom out for a Cleffa, which kind of makes me think that her hand might be bad like mine, but it turns out that she's just going to put an energy on Thundurus, go for the charge, and then do that. I did draw 2 Professor Oaks. I'm going to use one of them after I put an energy on Ghastly, just in case I don't draw into energy like what just happened right now. Cool thing is I draw into a Slowking, and I don't need Spiritomb right now because I do not have Gengar going. So I'm going to go ahead and evolve this Ghastly into a Haunter, and that seems pretty good for another second turn, because I can shuffle this hand out again with Eek, and Slowking and Mime kind of work with themselves. So I'm actually going to go ahead and look at her deck, top 3 cards of her deck anyway, and see if there's anything good. Now, I see an Electric, a Tynamo, and a Rescue Energy. So what I want to do is I want to burn off the Electric. That way Tynamo is just dead weight on her bench. So there's one down. 1 out of 6, and the game is mine. But let me be the first to tell you that if you're looking at the length of the video, she's not going to make this easy for me at all. So she's going to go ahead and put another energy on Thundurus and decide to catch her out my Haunter. And this is bad because I did not get this thing set up to a Gengar in time, and because of that, I only got 70 HP. Her attack does 80 damage. I'm down to 1 of my Haunters, and I only run 2 in this deck. So if I lose both of them, then this game's going to get pretty hard. But I decided to send in a Mime Jr. right now. I'm going to revive that Ghastly just on the off chance I can draw into a Haunter on this next turn. I do draw Lost World, and looking at it, since I saw Electric and what is it, Tynamo and Electric, I don't think this deck runs any Stadium, so I'm just going to go ahead and play it right now. I'm going to use Slowking to look at her deck. I'm pretty sure there is a Tynamo still floating up here, so I'm going to give her the Tynamo, and then the DCE, and then the Electric Energy. The energy order I don't think really ended up mattering, but there's 2 out of 6, and I'm thinking, alright, this game's going to be relatively easy at this point, unless she has more catchers. As long as I can take care of my Mime Juniors, I should be okay. So, she puts another energy on Thundurus, which makes me think, oh god, she has another one going. But she actually just uses it to retreat, and she's going to go out into Cleffa and get a new hand. So that kind of makes sense. Her Thundurus is sitting at a decent amount as well. What she probably could have done is she could have put an energy down on that, then charged, then retreated out next turn, but I guess she really wanted a new hand right now. Since I'm down a prize card because she killed off my Haunter, I'm actually able to twins up for a new Haunter, I believe. I have a lot of Seekers. So I have a Mr. Mime, and I have a Haunter, I believe, so that's what I'm going to do. As tempting as it is to start using Mime Jr., I think that's what I decided to look into. Do I? Yeah, okay, so I go for Slowking, and then I'm going to look at her deck and see if there's any Pokemon coming up. If there is, I'll keep this little Mime Jr. parade going as long as I can. Unfortunately, I see a Rare Candy, and I see Electric Energy and Engineer's Adjustments. I'm going to give her the Rare Candy, but I don't know what the Rare Candy is for. The only thing I can think of at the moment is probably Magnezone, and I'm looking to see if she has any catchers in her hand. She does not have anything that could resemble getting a catcher, so I'm somewhat safe in setting up this Haunter all the way to a Gengar, hopefully if I can get it in time. I do draw into my second Twins, which means that since I have yet to draw more prize cards, you know, this deck works pretty good with Twins because it doesn't draw prize cards. Same thing with Durant, but I can use that Twins next turn to get a Gengar, or I can chance Professor Oak and hopefully I can get a Pecan. But she puts down a Chinchou, and I think she had the Dynamo down from a previous turn. But her Cleffa is still asleep. I think the main issue in this portion of the match is how long my Cleffa stays asleep. That is dead weight in the middle of the field, and I do not like sitting there inactive for so long. So it turns out we both got dead weight going on, so I'm just going to, you know, put down another energy on Haunter, decide to use, I think I Twins it up for a Gengar right now because I really don't want to take those chances, but I'm going to go for a Gengar. I know I go for Gengar, and then I forget what else I go for here. It's probably something stupid, just for the sake of being stupid. Maybe a Seeker. Yeah, Seeker for some stupid reason. Just in case she decides to evolve the Chinchou and the Dynamo, I guess. That way I can disrupt either that or something else. But I'm going to look at her deck and see if there's anything I can disrupt. I'm going to give her the Electric Energy because I don't want her to draw into that Dynamo. I haven't seen anything in her hand that she would want to use to shuffle out her deck. She wakes up. I don't. Kind of good and bad at the same time. Good in that I can start... actually, it's not really that good at all. It's actually pretty bad. I don't know why I decided to say that, but I'm going to do it in one take because this is a long fucking video. So this is... You get one take from me. That's about it. But she wakes up, means she gets to eke into a new hand, and basically means that I get a new chance to start doing that stuff. But my Cleffa is still asleep. Oh no. So what I decide to do is I'm going to look at her hand and see if she has anything. She has a Magnezone, which is what the rare candy was in there for. And she also has an Electric. So what I also could do is I think I could Junk Arm out for a Pecan, get a Spiritomb, and then shuffle out that hand. But at the same time, it's like, you know what, fucking Electric. If she gets one setup, I don't care. It's if she gets more than one that I'll be, you know, mildly concerned with. I decided to put an energy on Slowking in case she decides to try to catch it out. And I'm going to look at her deck because I have a Professor Oak that I can use. I also see a Rare Candy, a Magnemite, and a Rocky Helmet. So I'm going to put it in the order where she would get the Magnemite last. I don't know what she has in her hand at the moment, but if she has something to get the Magnemite, then that's kind of stupid. But I decided to go for Professor Oak. Don't really get anything fantastic. I can Pecan out this in order to get a Spiritomb and then shuffle out that hand in case I really don't like it. But what I probably should have done is I should have done the Professor Oak and then the Spiritomb and then the Slowking, because by doing this, you know, I kind of just wasted Slowking's ability for the turn. Not that it really would have come into huge play since I can't even get Mime Jr. in there, but on the off chance that I gave her a Magnemite or a Pecan and both of that thing right now, you know, that wouldn't have been too good. So we both wake up. I do not want to see that because that Thundurus is definitely going to come in, kill off my Cleffa, and then I've lost most of my drawing things outside of this Copycat. I don't even know why I have a Copycat in this deck. I haven't tweaked this thing's deck structure in quite some time. So I see Magnemite, and then she finally evolves the Electric, so it makes me kind of think that I gave her a better hand. But she decides to go for Pokemon Collector. I'm kind of wondering how many Pokemon she's going to get here. If anything, and she knows what the bear... No, not... What am I trying to say? The bear, she'll grab the bare minimum, which is going to be one to put down on the bench, one to Pecan out to evolve something. Which my main thing thinking about it would probably be, you know, because what I can do is I can switch in Gengar and then start sniping out her hand. I can also use Seeker to get Spiritomb up off the thing and then, you know, shuffle out the hand again. But, you know, it really won't help me out too much. I'm trying to remember what happens. Oh, shit. It's just this match ended up being so unnecessarily long because she ended up lagging out, but whatever. What is happening? I think her time actually ends up rolling over in this game too. Like I took 9 minutes and then she took 24 or some shit like that, just because fucking computers, man. How do they work? Anyway, I paused it for a little bit, and then I unpause it, and it turns out she gets the 2 Zekrams. So she'll put one down, and then since she can't do that, she will probably Pecan out for the other one. And we'll just go from there. We'll see what happens. She'll go Junk Arm out the other... She's actually going to Junk Arm out a Zekrom and something else. So that was a pretty smart play on her behalf. Getting her own Pokemon into the discard pile, as opposed to getting them into the Lost Zone. If she gets them in the discard pile, then I can't reach them. So... that's good. That's good on her behalf, and I don't really have anything that'll get them out of the discard pile. Back into her deck, into her hand. That would be kind of a silly card to have. But she decided to Junk Arm out 2 things for the Pecan, and then I think she's going to Pecan out for a Magnezone, I think, after she switches this up. She's not going to want to shuffle out her hand because she did all those things, and puts an energy on Magnemite. Oh my god. Okay, finally kills me off with a Disaster Bolt. I was waiting for that. I was like, when is this going to happen? So I switch in my mind just because, you know, free treat and whatnot. And, looking with Slowking. See what she's got coming up. She's got a Magnezone, and then she's got that, and then she's got a Chinchou. I guess I decided to do it in that order, which is whatever. But looking at her hand, she has a Zekrom, she has a Pecom, she has 2 rare candies. Definitely the smarter thing would have been, I don't know why I didn't think about this, but what I could have done is I could have brought in Gengar and then sniped the, I could have given her the electric energy next, and then that way she wouldn't have drawn into a Pokemon to Pecom out for. And that would have gotten her stuck a little bit. But, you know, hindsight's always 20/20, and it was just in the moment I was like, you know what, we'll just do that. We'll get that Magnezone out of the way, maybe on the off chance she doesn't get another one. But by giving her the Cleffa back into her hand, it gives her something to Pecom out for, because I didn't even get the Zekrom out of the thing. So she gets her other Magnezone, which is like, okay, good and bad, because I got 1 out of the way, and I'm now 3 out of 6 towards winning. Bad news is now she has a Magnezone in play, and I don't know how many she's running in this deck. If she's running something like 4-1-3 or 4-2-3, then that won't be very good. But somehow I think she's probably only running like 2-1-2, if anything. I don't think I saw Magneton once at all in this game, and it was just a bunch of rare candies. So maybe 2-1-2 or just straight up 2-2, Magnemite and then Magnezone. That could work. I could see that working. Anyways. Mime's asleep, and she decides not to put a rescue energy on that. She's going to put it on the Magnezone because she knows that if somehow I end up KOing it, you know, it'll end up going back to her hand, and, you know, she just doesn't want to put one on Thundurus. The fact that she put it on Thundurus initially made me think that she had a catcher and she was going to try to kill off something, and I was still kind of scared, but it's whatever. So what happens here? This is a little bit of a lull, and I think the speed in Vegas probably picked up a little bit. You can kind of see the time in the top right. It's probably like ×2 or something. Right? Okay. Anyway, Lost Burn. She's going to catch her up my Gengar because she wants to kill that thing. And that's bad because my Haunter's already dead. You know, Ghastly Haunter, Gengar. My second Haunter's in here. She's going to kill this off with all of the energy she has in play thanks to fucking Lost Burn. Good and bad because that means that energy can't come back and play again. That's 3 of them. But I've also lost the ability to take out you know, the pokes in her hand at this point. And she's also going to Junk Arm out. She doesn't even need anything. She's just discarding her Pokemon so I can't get to them. And that is a really smart play. That's the proper way to play against this deck. The fact that she's doing that. So, after some time, I am failing to remember how much she is going to go for the Lost Burn for 150 to take out my Gengar. And then, all I really have at this point that I can do is I can Mime Jr. and then Junk Arm revives, and then as long as I can actually get Pokemon with Mimes, that'll be great. But if I can't, then I'll be a little bit stuck. So I'm going to send in this Mime and hope for the best. Go for this. And now I know she doesn't have any Pokemon in her hand either. So I'm going to go for Slowking and then see if there's any Pokemon coming up. I do see Cleffa, I see Flower Shop growing, I see Pecom. I'm going to give her the Pecom last. Also going to use Mr. Mime to see what's in her hand. I see a catcher. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about having that catcher in her hand. And I was like, maybe I should have looked at her hand first and then done the Spiritomb thing. And then, yeah, but... Okay, what happens here? I think I decide to copycat out because, you know, by giving her 6 cards, I can also get 6 cards. So inadvertently, kind of a good play, I suppose. And then I'm just kind of like setting up this Ghastly in vain. I completely forgetting that I'll run 2 Haunters and 2 Gengars in this thing. But for some freak chance out of nowhere, like Cleffa ends up at the top of the deck again. I'm like, did that just happen? That was fucking weird. Anyway, I got 4 out of 6 in the Lost Zone, and I only need 2 more. But I think this is the part of the game where it just really starts lagging hard. But I catch her at that Electric in the hopes that I can end up stalling her a little bit. But she does have that double colorless from earlier that I think I ended up giving her to draw into. And what she's going to do is she's going to start trying to draw as many cards as she can into her hand because she knows that's where they're safe now that the Gengar is gone. I'm looking, I'm like, there's 1 Haunter, and then the second Haunter's right there. I'm like, well, shit, this is stupid. Especially because Magnezone can take advantage of the energy that Electric is putting onto the bench and use that to do damage. So she puts an energy on electric just so she can avoid that situation again in case I decide to catch her out. But I think she's actually just going to go ahead and use Lost Burn off of it anyways to kill off my Mime Jr. And that's no bueno, because I think I only have one more in this deck. I run 3 in this deck, but I think they're like all fucking gone or something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Seeker up this Spiritomb so I can Pecom out for another Mime Jr. in case I have one. I'm really hoping I do. If I don't, then I am just in a world of hurt right now. Also decided to put that energy on Ghastly just so I can retreat it and then get that going. But if Mime can't pull his weight, this is it. This is like the last Mime right here, unless I can Junk Arm a Revive, or actually that's pretty much my only option, Junk Arming a Revive and then getting another one in play. But Slow King is going to look at her deck to see if there's anything, and there is nothing, guys. That really kind of sucks. I'm also going to look at her hand, see if there's anything that she could use to get a catcher. Nothing. The best thing that she could probably do is go for Engineer's Adjustments and then do that, but I'm actually just going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to chance it with this Mime right here, right? And hopefully I end up staying asleep for a little bit, which I do. And I was really, really banking on that coin flip. A lot of the coin flips didn't really go too favorably for me in this game, but it's okay, I suppose. I only need 2 more, but she's got a lot of cards in her hand, got a lot of cards in the deck, and yeah, that's, well, not that many cards in the deck, that's the thing. So by coming close to decking herself out, and, you know, kind of managing as her deck as closely as she can, then she can prevent Mime Jr. from sleepy losting things into the Lost Zone. Because as you can see, I got 4 out of 6, and she's not making this easy for me at all, because she knows exactly how this deck works. At least I would assume. She's playing like she does. Looking at the discard pile, I believe there are plenty of Pokemon in there that she has no intentions of putting back into the deck for any reason whatsoever. She does have Flower Shop Girl, but she has no reason to use it, like, especially against this deck. So she's got plenty of Pokemon in play that would benefit from it, but she's going to go ahead and get an Electric into her hand, I think, in case she draws into another Dynamo. And yep, looking at the Vegas track again, it's probably going to start speeding up in a little bit, and it's to the point where she is just lagging out unbearably. But Engineer's Adjustments, and as you can see, it's going really fucking fast. But Engineer's Adjustments, going to give her 4 more cards and whatnot. My mic kind of crapped down on there. It's really picky lately. Don't know why. But let me zoom out on this Vegas track, see how much of this video is left, because this is a long video for absolutely no reason whatsoever. I don't wake up, which is nice, and I was really tempted to take advantage of the Junk Arm glitch here, where you only have to Junk Arm out 1 card in order to get something, and, you know, my main intent there probably would have been to get a catcher, or a Revive to get a second Mime going. Catcher to bring out that Electric, but I didn't remember whether or not she had a DCE in her hand, so she could just get that out of there, or if she had a Junk Arm for Switch. I really don't remember her deck layout too well at this point. But my Mr. Mime, not my Mr. Mime, my Mime Jr. wakes up sooner than it needs to, and I'm not a happy camper right now because of that, because now I've lost it, and then this means that I have to use my Junk Arm for a Revive if I want to do anything, because after I lose Gengar and after I lose Mime Jr., that is this deck's weak point, basically the Achilles heel. After that, you know, Mr. Mime can't do anything, Slow King can't do anything, and then Spiritomb certainly can't do anything. Can't pull any weight whatsoever. At that point, I would probably have to Junk Arm out for catchers and then just, you know, do useless things forever. So, I mean, Spiritomb does have that attack where he does 10 damage to everything of the same type, but it's dumb. It's dumb. So, looking, lagging, lots of lagging. Oh boy, I'm super excited to go on this trip. It's going to be snow, and then fireplace, chestnut stuff, and then she's chatting me right now, and I was like, oh man, you know what, you're like the first player to apologize for lag, and I was like, you know what, we're just gonna be best buddies right now because of that, because that is really awesome. You know, I was like, I don't know, I wasn't expecting an apology, because most of the times I just get really mad because people take so long, but at this point she was just like, oh, that's so nice of you. But decided to Junk Arm out for that Revive, like I previously mentioned. Gonna use Slow King, see if there's anything coming up. There is not, guys. That kind of sucks. But actually, you know what? Why do I go for the Cleffa? Whatever. I am stupid, I guess. I'm stupid, and I thought I would get another one. And I'm watching the clock. And check this out. Check this out, TCGO. When you normally hit 0, you're supposed to lose. and it just kind of rolled over. But she's like, I'm sure no one needed 5 minutes picking a prize card, but I was like, fucking whatever. At this point, I was like, I'm just going to give you the game if you have anything resembling a junk arm in your hand. I didn't look at it with Mr. Mime or anything like that. But since the time rolled over, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm done. You know, I was hoping to get into a junk arm with that Cleffa, but I wasn't able to. So that's the game. Didn't exactly go my way, but I don't know. I thought it was the best game that I was going to get with this deck today since I'd been playing with it for a couple hours. And that's about it for this TCGO video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you're welcome to leave a like. You're welcome to leave a like, rating, comment, subscribe to your thing. And let me think. Battle video probably will be going up before this or after this. I have not decided. They will both be in your sub box sometime tonight. I'll see if I can get a Penumbra episode going tonight and then use the scheduled uploader to give it to you on Saturday or something like that. I haven't messed around with the scheduled uploader, but depending on how much free time I have today, we'll see what I can give you guys. So that'll do it out of me, and I will see you guys when I get back.